Hi, welcome to the first Sunday after Christmas, December 27th. I hope you had a great time with all of your family and friends, such as it was. I'm sure it was different than it has been in years before, but hopefully it was a good time, however you were able to celebrate. Let's get started with our worship by lighting our Christ candle to remember that Jesus is the light of the world and the darkness will never, cannot, and will not ever overcome that light. And another nickname we like to remember each week about Jesus is that he is our good shepherd. And it's a parable, and in parables, the things in the story mean more than one thing. So this story that's about sheep is really about us and how God takes care of us and will come after us even when we're lost. And here's our liturgical calendar. The first Sunday after Christmas is still white. So we're going to move it to that Sunday. Where we begin, or almost ready to begin, our season of Epiphany. That arrow doesn't want to stay up there this time. And here's our nativity that reminds us of the birth of Jesus that we just celebrated 2 nights ago. Isn't it beautiful? This little angel, she's not an angel, sorry. She's a shepherdess. It's a little girl shepherd, and I just love her. She kind of looks like an angel because she has this gold halo. I hope you have a nativity at home that you get to leave out and celebrate with. All right, as we move to the table, it's time for a few songs from Pastor Kevin again. Enjoy, and I'll see you at the table for the story.
Hi friends, it's Pastor Kevin, and today we're going to sing 3 songs before we go any further today. And the first one is Joy to the World. There's a lot of joy in this season. So you ready? Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare in room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare in room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Alright, the next song we're going to do is Away in a Manger. So you ready? Away in a manger, no crib for a bed. The little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the sky looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay. Okay, the next song we're gonna sing is We Three Kings. Now you gotta do your best king for me. Are you ready? We three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar. Field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright. Westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Great job.
Now that we're at our table, it is time to collect our offering. God has given each of us so many blessings that it's right to give our offerings back to God. And that can be money, coins, or dollars. It can be giving your heart to God for the week. You can place your hand on your heart, and then in whatever offering bowl that you have. Or you can offer a prayer of something that you will give to God this week. Since this is our Christmas Eve worship, and it will be also for the Sunday after Christmas and the first Sunday of Epiphany, maybe you could promise to give God something back for all of the things that you were given at Christmas. Maybe you could look through your clothing. If you got new clothes for Christmas, maybe you could find some that still look really good that you could give to children who don't have any clothing or who need new clothing. Maybe you could go through your toys and donate them. There are lots of ways that we can give back to God, especially in this season. So whatever offering you have to give, I know that God is happy with each and everything. Now let's get ready to hear our story. And we do that by singing the Be Still song. It helps get our mind and our bodies quiet and ready to focus on the story that I'll tell. So we start by putting your finger to your lips, kind of like you're saying, shh. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Welcome back to Children Worship and Wonder for the Sunday after Christmas. The last time that we were together on Christmas Eve, I told the story of all of Advent, and then we finished with the birth of Jesus and the shepherds being there. And I've now added the star because when Jesus was born, that's when the star appeared in the sky. And we're going to tell more about who comes later in the story next Sunday. But today, there's a special story that we only tell during this Sunday of the season, after Jesus was born, but before the story of the Magi. And this comes from a book called Star of Wonder. And it's the story of Jesus' parents taking him to the temple to be dedicated. And I'll have Dylan take close-ups of the pages. It's just 2 pages so that you can look at the pictures closely. They're really beautiful. When Jesus was about a month old, Mary and Joseph took him to the temple in Jerusalem. It was a very special day for all of them. As was the custom for all baby boys at the time, Jesus was going to be presented to God in the temple. Mary and Joseph took with them 2 young doves to offer as a sacrifice. They wanted to thank God for the birth of Jesus and to ask God to bless them. A very old man named Simeon was waiting at the temple. He had prayed to God all of his life and believed that one day the Savior would come. Simeon saw Mary and Joseph carrying Jesus into the temple courts. He knew at once that this was a very special child. Simeon took Jesus in his arms and praised God. This is what he said: "Lord of all, I can now go peacefully from this life, for my eyes have seen the Savior who brings light to all people on the earth." There was also a very old lady in the temple that day. She was a prophetess called Anna, and she worshipped there day and night. Anna came up to Mary and Joseph and looked with wonder at the baby Jesus. She gave thanks to God for the special child in his mother's arms. Anna knew that this was the baby God had promised God's people. What a beautiful story. I wonder who were some of the first people to see you when you were born. Ask your mom and dad about that. Who was it who was there to see you first? And if you don't go to this church, do you remember, have your parents told you stories about you being dedicated? We do baby dedications here at our church, at least prior to the COVID. We're not doing them right now, but typically the parents and their extended families bring the baby and they dedicate them to the whole church community. And everyone, their family promises special things in bringing up the child, and the congregation, the whole church community, offer special blessing and promises to that child. And then usually one of the pastors will walk with the baby up and down the aisle so everybody gets to see that child, and they're presented with special gifts. So it might be fun to remember those things with your mom and dad. I wonder what the celebration of your life was like. Well, that's all for today. We'll be with you next week to tell you the story of the Magi, or the three kings, or the wise guys. We call them all kinds of things here in our worship center, don't we? Anyway, I'll see you back next week for another story of children worship and wonder.